Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. So I am Sitanas Rayam Ayunan. So I'm the first reporter of Group 8. So our topic is all about the humanism and democratic criticism. So what is philology? Philology is a field of study that is concerned with the study of language and literature in their historical, social, and cultural context. The term philology is derived from the Greek word philos, love, and logos, word, and it has been used to describe a range of academic disciplines that focus on study of language, literature, and cultural. So, ang philology is parang pagiging detective sa wika at panitikan or literature. Ito ay tungkol sa paghuhukay sa kasaysayan, kultura at lipunan sa likod ng mga salita na ginagamit natin at mga kwento ng ating ibinahagi. Isipin mo na parang isang language sleuth na nangunguna sa pag-uncover ng mga secrets ng mga sinaunang teksto at pag-untangle ng mga mysteries kung paano evolve ang mga wika sa paglipas ng panahon. So, what is the history of philology? So, the history of philology dates back to ancient times when scholars in Greece and Rome began to study the language and literature of their respective culture. These scholars sought to understand the meaning and significance of the word of Homer, Plato, Virgil, and other great writers of the ancient world, and they developed methods of textual analysis and interpretation that are still used today. Noong unang panahon daw, sa ancient Greece at Rome, ang mga scholars ay parang mga language at literature enthusiasts. Focus sila sa pagtuklas kung ano talaga ang ibig sabihin ni Homer, Plato at iba pang prominent writers sa kanilang mga akda. Parang pagsusolve ng isang puzzle upang ma-unlock ang karunungan ng nakaraan. During the Middle Ages, philology was closely linked with the study of the theology, and scholars focused on the study of the Bible and other religious contexts. In the Renaissance, the study of language and literature became more secular, and scholars began to study the works of ancient Greek and Roman writers in order to understand the cultural achievements of the ancient world. Moving forward sa Middle Ages, nag-intertwine ang philology sa theology. Ang mga scholars ay dedicated sa pag-aaral ng religious texts at sa decipher ng Bible. Then, dumating ang Renaissance at naging mas relax ang lahat. Nagsimula ang mga tao na mag-explore ng mga works ng Greek at Roman writers simply para sa admire and interesting content sa kanilang nilalaman. In the 19th century, philology became a more specialized field with scholars focusing on the study of specific language and literature. By the 19th century, naging mas specialized ang philology. Ang mga scholars ay nag-focus sa specific language at literatures aiming to connect the relationship between different language and even reconstruct ancient proto-language. So, paano nga ba nag-carry out ang mga language detective ang kanilang trabaho? So, gumamit sila ng iba't ibang tools tulad ng analyzing text, truly comparing language to identify connection and tracing the change in language over time. Parang being a linguistic Sherlock Holmes, piecing together clues to reveal the hidden story within words and literature. In essence, ang philology ay about sa paghuhukay sa captivating realms ng wika at panitikan, linking different cultures and eras and unraveling the diverse forms of human expression through words. It's like voyage through times and space, unveiling the enigmas of human communication and creativity. So, this is the method of philology. Philology employs a range of methods and techniques to study language and literature. These include textual analysis, comparative linguistics, historical linguistics, and literary analysis. So, this is the first method of philology. The first method of philology is textual analysis. Involves the study of written texts, include their language, grammar, syntax, and literary style. Textual analysis can provide insight into the cultural and historical context of a text. Sa textual analysis, chine-check nila ang mga nakasulat sa teksto, pati ang wika, grammar, syntax at literary style nito. Dito, nakukuha nila ang ideya tungkol sa cultural at makasaysayang konteksto ng teksto at kung paano ito nakikita sa wika at panitikan ang values at beliefs ng isang lipunan. The second one is comparative linguistics, involved the study of the historical relationship between language. Linguistics compare the vocabulary, grammars, and syntax of different language in order to identify similarities and differences and to reconstruct the historical relationship between them. Sa comparative linguistics, tinitignan ang kasaysayan ng ugnayan ng wika. Ipinagtatapat ng mga linguistics ang vocabulary, grammars at syntax ng iba't ibang wika para makita ang similarities at differences at mga reconstruct na historical relationship nila. So the third one is historical linguistic, involved the study of how language changed over time. Sa historical linguistics, pinag-aaralan kung paano nagbabago ang mga wika sa paglipas ng panahon. Ina-analyze ng mga linguistics ang mga pagbabago sa vocabulary, grammars at syntax na nangyayari sa paglipas ng panahon at sinusubukan nilang maunawaan ang mga historical at social factors na nagtutulak sa mga pagbabagong ito. The last one is literary analysis. Involves the study of literature including its forms, styles, and context. So, the last one is literary analysis. Dito, tinitignan ang panitikan kasama na ang forms, styles, at content nito. Dito, nakukuha ang idea tungkol sa cultural at makasaysayang konteksto ng isang akda at kung papaano ito nakikita sa panitikan at values at beliefs ng isang lipunan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Makrima K. Bansil, one of the member of the Group 8 reporters. Significance of philology. Philology has played an important role in shaping our understanding of language and literature, and it continues to be a vital area of study in the contemporary world. Philology has contributed to the development of linguistic and literary theories and has helped to expand our knowledge of history, culture, and diversity of human language. Ang philology ay may mahalagang papel sa paghubog ng ating pangunawa sa wika at panitikan. At ito ay patuloy na isang mahalagang bahagi ng pag-aaral sa kontemporaryong mundo. Nag-ambag ang philology sa pagbuo ng mga teoryang pangwika at pampanitikan at nakatulong ito sa pagpapalawak ng ating kaalaman sa kasaysayan, kultura at pagkakaiba-iba ng wika ng tao. Philology has also played a key role in the preservation and interpretation of cultural heritage. Ang philology ay may mahalagang papel din sa pangangalaga ng interpretasyon ng pamana ng kultura. Philologists have worked to preserve and translate ancient texts from the range of cultures, including the works of ancient Greeks and Romans, the Sanskrit texts of ancient India, and the ancient Chinese classics. Ang mga philologists ay nagtrabaho upang panatili at isalin ang mga sinaunang teksto mula sa isang hanay ng mga kultura, kabilang ang mga gawa ng mga sinaunang Griego at Romano. Ang mga Sanskrit na teksto ng sinaunang India at ang sinaunang mga klasikong Tsino. Philology has played an important role in the study of translation. Translators must have a deep understanding of both the source and target language in order to produce an accurate and culturally appropriate translation. Philologists have worked to develop techniques and method for translation and have collaborated with translators to produce high-quality translations of literary and cultural texts. Malaki ang ginampanan ng philology sa pag-aaral ng pagsasalin. Ang mga tagapagsalin ay dapat magkaroon ng malalim na pangunawa sa parehong pinagmulan at target ng mga wika upang makabuo ng tumpak at angkop sa kulturang pagsasalin. Ang mga philologists ay nagtrabaho upang bumuo ng mga paraan at pamamaraan para sa pagsasalin at nakipagtulungan sa mga tagapagsalin upang makagawa ng mga dekalidad na pagsasalin ng mga tekstong pampanitikan at pangkultura. Conclusion. Philology is an interdisciplinary field that studies language and literature in their historical and cultural context. Philologists analyze texts in detail, examining their language, grammar, syntax, and cultural context to gain deeper understanding of their meaning of significance. Ang philology ay isang interdisciplinary field na nag-aaral ng wika at panitikan sa kanilang historical at kultura na konteksto. Sinusuri ng mga philologists ang mga teksto ng detalyado, sinusuri ang kanilang wika, grammatical, syntax at kontekstong kultura upang makakuha ng mas malalim na pag-unawa sa kanilang kahulugan at kahalagahan. Philology encompasses a wide range of areas of study, including historical linguistics, textual criticism, literary analysis, translation, and comparative philology. Ang philology ay sumasaklaw sa malawak na hanay ng mga lugar ng pag-aaral, kabilang ang historical na linguistika, textual criticism, literary analysis, pagsasalin at comparative philology. Philology is closely related to linguistics, cultural studies, translation studies, and the digital humanities. Ang philology ay malapit na nauugnay sa linguistic, cultural studies, translation studies, at ang digital humanities. Philologists collaborate with scholars in this field to gain a deeper understanding of the text they study, and to explore the ways in which language and literature reflect and shape the values, beliefs, and social structures of a given society. Ang mga philologists ay nakipagtulungan sa mga scholar sa mga larangang ito upang magkaroon ng mas malalim na pangunawa sa mga tekstong kanilang pinag-aaralan at upang tuklasin ang mga paraan kung paano sinasalin at hinuhubog ng wika at panitikan ang mga mahalagang paniniwala at strukturang panlipunan ng isang partikular na lipunan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. I am Naga S. Amadas, discussing the topic of what is the definition of humanism and democratic criticism. Humanism was an intellectual movement typified by a revived interest in the classical world and the studies which focused not on religion but on what is to be human. The significance of humanism was stresses the importance of human values and dignity. It proposes that people can resolve problems through science and reasoning rather than looking to religious tradition. Humanism focuses on helping people live well, achieve personal growth, and make the world a better place. So that was the humanism. Ang humanism ay sila yung nag-aaral sa mga tao, paano mabuhay ang isang tao sa mundo, paano nila na-achieve yung kanilang personal growth, paano sila nakaka-improve sa mundo, at paano nila nalalaman yung kanilang mga reference religion. So, hindi lang sila nakafocus sa religion, no? But on what is to be human, kung paano nila malaman ang tunay na tao. The purpose of humanism, the humanists of the Renaissance created a school to teach the ideas in wrote book all about age. That means, ang purpose ng humanism is mag-create ng school to evolve, write, and speak at para makipagsalamuha sa mga tao, malaman ang kanilang opinion or ideas. Criticism of democracy has been a key part of democracy in its function, as Josiah over explained, no? Since a classical antiquity and through the modern era, democracy has been associated with rule by the people. ruled by the majority, and free selection or election, either through direct participation or elected representation, respectively. And the legitimate role of critique of democracy may be difficult to define, but one approach is to divide critics into good and internal critics. Edwards said, "Revolutionary for the humanities proposes at once a radical and tradition rule for the humanists." So he defined a human by looking for the ethic. Malalaman mo daw ang tunay na makatao kung mayroon sa kanya yung salitang ethics. Dahil yun ang nagdi-define sa kanya kung ano ang humanist. So hanggang doon lang po yung aking report. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. I am Zuhuri Lidasan Uto from Bais 3A. So at this time, I would like to discuss the topic is it's all about the democratic form of humanism. The democratic form of humanism is a perspective that values the power and capability of people, both individually and collectively. This was related to concept of socialism and advocates for social justice, political freedom, and the well-being of citizens. So it is the principle which value the opinion of people in our country. Ang sinusunod natin ay democratic policy, which is the inform of humanist. It means ang paniniwala o prinsipyo ng isang tao. Binibigyan ng halaga ang bawat individual na tao sa lipunan sapagkat kasama sila na may karapatan at tungkulin sa bansa. Isa sa mga advocate ay ang social justice, which is the kailangan pantay-pantay ang tao at ang politika. Freedom, kahit sino man, mayaman o mahirap, pwede pong tumakbo bilang mamumuno ng bansa. The next is the difference between humanism and democratic criticism. Humanism is a joyous alternative religion that believe in supernatural God and hereafter. They believe that this is the only life have certain knowledge, a belief when people are free to think for themselves using knowledge and reasons as their tools. So ano nga ba ang pagkakaiba ng humanism at saka ang democratic criticism? So ang humanism, joyous alternative religion, ay ito yung ibig sabihin na ang bawat isa ay may paniniwala, may iba't ibang Diyos at relihiyon, depende na lang din kung saan ka ipinanganak. In this life, ang bawat tao ay may karapatan na mag-express ng kanyang opinion o saloobin. Everyone have a freedom. The next is the Humanist Society of Western New York. In the light of my life and the fire in my soul, all human life must seek a reason for existence within the bounds of an uncaring physical world. So, ibig sabihin, ang isang society na humanist give a knowledge and who recognizes ang isang tao ay may kanya-kanyang kakayahan at talino base sa on their experience. Humanists believe that it is the responsibility of every person to contribute their gift to the common cause of making a better society. And that's all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I am Malik Basawiran Saaban, the continuation of reporter from the group 8. My topic is the humanities crisis. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng humanities crisis? Sa madaling sabihin, ang mga humanities ay nahulog sa krisis kapag sila ay nahiwalay sa kanilang orihinal na kahulugan at layunin bilang liberal na sining, at kapag ang modelo ng pananaliksik ay lumalampas sa etikal, pampolitika, vocational at spiritual sa mga dimension ng education. Tanging problema dito sa at nakakatakot-takot na senaryo na ito ay ang kontemporaryong kahalagahan ng sangkatauhan ay sa mayroong pamagat nito na bago at tungkol dito. Ang sangkatauhan, the humanities have always been in state of crisis, as Frank Denege has shown in the last professors. The Corporate University and the of Humanities 2008, the educational value of humanities has regularly been questioned by business elite of worried about this practical value. Ayon kay Frank Denege, gaya ng ipinakita niya na the last professor, the Corporate University in the field of the humanities, ang kahalagang pang-edukasyon ay humanities ay regular na kino-question ng mga elite sa negosyo na nag-aalang isigaw ang mga praktikal na halagang ito. Mula sa puntong ito ng pananaw ng mga kontemporaryong debate tungkol sa praktikal na halaga ng humanidad ay tila halos kasing edad ng mga humanidad tulad ng observation ni Denege. Ang mga termino ng tinatawag na sigaw mula sa akademikong humanis na perspektibo ay palagi ang parehong mga interes ng corporation at mga halaga ay nakahanda upang madaig ang mga mithiin ng mga liberal na sining at ibahin ang mga universidad sa isang lubusang lugar ng trabaho ng may negosyo. From early of the 20th century, Denege observed the great capitalism in American University as set of core value and the management style antithetical to their own. Mula sa unang bahagi ng ikadalawang siglo na inobserbahan ni Denege ang mga dakilang kapitalist. Nakita sa mga universidad ng Amerika ang isang hanay ng mga pangunahing halaga at isang estilo ng pamahalaga ng kontra sa kanilang sarili. Number 2, ang unang bahagi ng kadalawampung siglo, kapitalista ng Amerika, pinakita ni Denege sa Amerika, ipinakita niya na nauudyukan ng mga isang etikal na nakabatay sa mga anti-intelektualismo na lumampas sa interes sa pinansyal na ilalim na linya. Dahil ito ay nagmula sa isang kawalan ng tiwala sa ideal ng mga intelektual na pagtatanong para sa mga sarili nitong sake. Mula from this point of view, question about the utility of humanities education do not seem part of the contemporary crisis, but rather than instructor characters higher education. So, patungkol dito sa silbi ng edukasyon na humanities ay hindi tila bahagi ng isang kontemporaryong krisis, ngunit sa halip ay isang intelektual katangian ng mas mataas na education. Ang pangmatagalang kalikasan ng retorika ng krisis na nakapalibot sa mga sangkatauhan ng nagiging malinaw din sa pamamagitan lamang ng paghahanap sa krisis ng humanities. Sa humanities, citation index